Alrighty. Doc here from North America. It's been a fun 24 hours, I guess you could say. That's the way I look at it. Definitely fun. We have Mr. Powell confirming that they're getting at the end of the road. They may not lower the rates as fast as people think, but one thing is for sure: the markets, as we've said over and over again, they're anticipating. They're not paying attention to Powell, and they're anticipating the idea that this is like the end of the rate increases. So what I'm really, assuming, from all the actions we've seen, is that what's coming around the corner, I guess you could say, or is a combination of anticipation of the polls, where Mr. Trump is out, just beating everybody, presidential candidates, the whole bit, in every direction. Mr. Biden beating them all, and they're anticipating that he's going to roll in and win, and the economy is going to do what it did when he was president before, and that is explode on the upside. And with Powell now saying, okay, we're kind of towards the end of increases now, making it official that they're towards the end of increases, it makes it even more explosive. Will they cut? I'm not sure they'll be cutting so fast. Markets are saying they think they're going to see cuts in late March or something like that. I think it's going to be in the second and the third quarters, as I said or before, especially going into the third quarter. Like July, August, possibly cuts right around that time period. It seems like that's what the markets are, at least to me, that's the way they're acting. Matter of fact, there's a 100%, was it 92% by the Fed futures contract is predicting 92% cut in like late June, early July. I think it's July. So that's how it really looks to me, and you can see the way the markets have acted and how they've taken off. And let's fast forward to better TV. Okay, get rid of that. Dismiss it. There we are. Now let's see what that is. I didn't want to get rid of that. It says Bank of England committee votes to boost GBP, Great British Pound. United Kingdom's central bank has just announced that the official bank rate and released on the monetary policy summary as forecast by the market consensus. The bank kept the rates at 52.25. Right, so they're not increasing anymore. Let's see what else. Let me put the glasses on for this to see that second side of it. It says, in the meantime, Monetary Policy Committee was expected to vote with 2 members voting for an increase and 7 for keeping the rates intact. However, 3 instead of the 2 members wanted to rate hike. This signals that the Bank of England is more inclined at rate hikes than it was thought. The pound reacted to the news with a surge above the 2,700, which extended the previous gains that occurred after the Fed Reserve hikes on Wednesday. We raised on Wednesday? We didn't raise on Wednesday. Note that there is no press conference scheduled after the event, as it is accustomed to other banks. This is not trading advice. Okay. All right. I just wanted to see what that said. All right. So there, let's put the cable up. There's the dollar index. You can see the dollar is heading down. You can see the fast is at 22.7. The slow is at 45.4. So it's like over like twice. It's really falling. Really, really falling. All right, let's put the cable up there. Let's see what the cable has done. And there is the dollar British pound pairs trade right there. Oh, it's actually British pound dollar pairs trade in reverse. You can see that right there. It popped back up. Let's see what the beta is saying this morning. Where are you, beta? Show us beta. Where are you? And that would be 6BF. Oh, there's Janos. That's a mistake done by me. Mine thought surge, not hike. Yes. Okay, that's no problem. I wanted to see, normally I just X those things out, and I was curious. I mean, it was so large a writing, I thought, let's look at it. I want to see what it is. And there it is on the beta. And there's the beta. We went into the buy yesterday on the beta, just like we did on J4X right there. And you can see it's lifting up. And You can see there the weeklies have been in a weekly buy for a while. So there's a lot of firmness. Happens when I lack sleep. Well, I hear you. You newlyweds. I hear you. I hear you. I'm not going to say anything more than that. Okay. So, let's see. What else can we say about the Great British Pound? It's interesting. As traders, we laugh at some of the little nuances. I'm not sure if that translates well in English, but like the little characteristics or the telltales or however you want to describe it. It's always funny to watch those nuances. That, oh my goodness, it's like the poker tell. People playing poker, playing cards, and you read other players and their tells. In other words, their little habits that they do. It's the same thing. Just because 2 didn't vote, but 3 did vote. They take it as they want to tighten more. We really are demented when it comes to trying to interpret the fundamentals. Evening shifts doing the stuff on like the FOMC. Yeah, I'll tell you, the FOMC is, they made it very clear that, they have so many people that want to just start cutting rates tomorrow morning, but they can't. Powell knows one thing, and that is he does not want to have to come back to this again and screw things up. So I think they won't really start cutting until, like May. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where things are at in May. But I don't believe we're going to see cuts anywhere until, after the first quarter. Definitely after the first quarter. I feel very strong about that. The last thing he would want to do is cut and then see inflation jump out of nowhere. That would freak them all out. It's already, there are traders out there who follow the old inflation statistics, not the new ones. Remember, they've been adjusting these things for political reasons for a while now, ever since Obama with the labor number. I mean, think about it. We're at all-time lows in labor, right? Participation. I mean, people are, the unemployment rate is down into the low 3s. And here we are. We've got this enormous deficit. We're barely growing. All the jobs that are being created are pretty much government jobs or medical jobs through government. And so, it's definitely, the word there is dichotomy. Yes, dichotomy. It's very diverse. Very diverse or very unique or very odd circumstances this whole thing is looking at, at this point. So, all right, let's go back to the dollar index real quick just to interpret that with the tea leaves. But the cable seems awful happy. And there is the dollar index right there. And you can see again, that's rolling over. You can see the same thing over on the beta. Where's the beta? Where are you, beta? Come on, beta. There it is, right there. It is the beta. You see that pressure right there. And at the same time, we can see what it says on the old platform. So you can see a couple days in the sell. It's pressing down the same way it is on J4X. And then we go over to here. There we are. And so you can see right there. Oh, let's fix that. Something looks weird about that. That's a big gap down. And go like that, like that. Let's try that one more time. Like that, like that, like that. There we are. There we are. So you can see here, that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Went into the sell on yesterday. Okay. And then we need to put today in there. So we go like this. Do that same thing again. That kind of straightens out the price action on it. Go like that. And there it is. Well, it should be there somewhere. Are we still trading the December contract? Let's just double check that. Maybe we should just switch contracts. Let's go look and see. I'm going to go check and see. But I think we may be into the March futures contract. Let's go check this out. I've been waiting and wondering how long the deck was going to last. I'm not getting any signals saying it's not, but let's check out the deck. Deck, dollar index, futures. Dollar index. Dollar index. Dollar index. This is an odd situation. There it is. Dollar index. There we go. It's not really showing us which is the front month contract. I guess they have it today. It's still there. Interesting. Market data, futures, dollar index. Why doesn't it show us the dollar index? I don't know. Let's try it over here on a different thing. We're going to discover if they've moved to the March contract. Dollar index. Dollar index. Yeah, March contract. They're using the March contract now. So let's try that too. Let's fix that. I want to see what that looks like on there. Right there. There we go. Subscribe. Yes, indeed. Let's just add it. Let's just add it like that. There we are. And that would be DX. Let's see. DXH 24 dot NYB. Let's see what that looks like. ADSCII. Whoa! What's that? Let's try that again. Let's see. Let's try that again. Add. Save. How about that? Going save. There we go. Alright, let's check this out. Because I think the March contract is really now the front month. Go like that. Hit home. Do a little spinny thing. Slide down. There it is. Here it comes. Yeah, there you go. So you can see there it has been, there's the 13th, there's the 14th. So 2 days. This is the second day in a sell. Now let's put it up over here. Format there. And let's put that contract in. Let's move that out of the way for the time being. And we want to add that. And we'll have it on both places. Alright. And instrument. And add. And move that over again. There. DX. Look up. Ooh, let me check the chat line. Make sure there's nothing chatting away. There's Janos's happens when I sleep. What is your look for the 500 by the end of the week? Seems like it's still up, still long. Let me go over to it. I just want to put this contract into the mix for it all. There it is. Add. Okay. Okay. Close. And then, okay. And then what I'll do is this. I'm going to leave the mountaintop one, make a copy of this, copy window, and then we'll go over to the S&P 500. Paste window. And there we are. And here we go. This is the DX. Right there. There we are. See, it's not giving us the up-to-date. Let's see if we can do this one more time. And go like that. And settings. Default. Let's try it that way. Interesting. It's not giving it to us yet. Maybe we need a tick. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. Now, let's give you a view of what I just did. You can see right there, this is the March contract. You can see it breaking down in that cell still. It's all doing downside. Now let's go answer Janos's question about the S&Ps. There's the S&Ps on an intraday tick basis. You can see I was saying to Robin earlier, since yesterday evening, after here is the New York close. right there. There's the New York. Where's the New York close? Basically, New York close was right here at 65. Then they ran it into the close, the after hours, up until around 7 o'clock. And then what they did is from 6 o'clock, 7, when they started trading again, that's what that move was. And then from there, it's been sideways ever since. That's the S&P 500 on an intraday basis. Let's take a look at it on a daily basis. So we go over to here, go to there, click to this. There's the March contract. You can see it's nice and high, very firm. We've been in a weekly buy 2, 4, 6. This is the 7th week in a weekly buy. We've been in a daily buy for 4 days. You see that. Matter of fact, which is interesting is the NQs has been in a buy for 5 days, day ahead of all this. Long, short, what levels? Let's see, levels. You want pivots, or do you want what? I don't know. I can come up with a couple different levels. It just shows to me that there's this continuous buying going on. It's been like that since back in here. I mean, look at it. All those. We had 2 days in a sell there. We had 2 days in a sell there. And actually 3 because of this, the red and the green. And then it took off again. Right there. It goes into the buy and takes off from the 4,677 all the way up to the almost basically over 100-point move. So, we've been in buys most of the time since we went into this weekly buy back in here. How's that sound? Where could it be? Let's see. Where could it be by the end of the week? Let's see. End of the week. All right. Let's try to figure something like that out. All right. Let's go to the intraday. Obviously, the intraday is a good way of doing that, so we might as well go to it. Let's see what we can do with the intraday. Remember, we're in high territories. Let's see. This is, let's squeeze that up. There's Monday. There's Monday. There's Tuesday. I guess you could say, if you're using this as a 1 from here to there, that was the 2. This is 3, but is it greater than? Let's see. That's 2 bars, 2.5, right? Versus 1, 2. This could be the 3 right here. This could be the 3 really right here. So like 1, and then this was the 2, right? And here was the 2. This was the 3. This is the 4, and this is the 5. So I would say that it would be this distance by the end of the week. If you're doing like an option spread or a binary thing, I'd say it could be 40 points higher from here. So 48. What's that? 23. So it'd be 48.17. So I could see by Friday 48.17. And as long as we keep on getting into these intraday buys. Now this is the wider one. This is the 18,000 intraday contract chart versus the 2,000 right there. So I could see it at say 4,817 on the March contract. We're talking March contract, not the December contract. So if you're looking at the cash, think about it about 40 points higher. How's that? Is that a half decent answer? We shall see in a few seconds. We shall see. We shall see. I'm going to sip my tea, waiting for Janos. I could see that. Yeah, I could see 40 on the March contract. I could see 48.17. What it is? Yes, indeed. Yeah, I could see it 40 points higher. I could see that. I would assume at this point, where are we at? I mentioned it last week. This is the end of the window dressing, and now they're going to start looking at next year. They've flattened out themselves, they've adjusted, and now they're going to start. They can buy futures contracts and sell calls against it, or they can just buy future contracts and try to have the first days of January on prepared. Then they go sell the futures and then buy the stocks. But this way, if it takes off, they have a position. A technical drop. That's what we're watching right now, isn't it? You can see it on the screen here. They there's the high. There's 3 times it's banged the high and failed, and now they sold it down from 81 to basically 67, 14 handles, and we're talking about where we can see from here. We can see it 40 handles higher by the end of the week. So I don't really think there's going to be an explosion. I think it's just going to be steady and firm. Remember, expiration is Friday morning. Okay? Futures contracts expire Friday morning on the open. Now, they could try to jack them again. Let's go back to the contract itself. There's the March contract. Yeah, it doesn't do much correcting to begin with. Look at this correction. From the high to the low was from 35 to 12. It's 23 handles. This one right here is a big one. From to the high from 647 to that's perfect, and that's 40 handles, just like what we're looking for now on the upside. So for over the whole last month and a half, there's not many big corrections. We were in the thralls. Like when you go and look at the intraday right here, right now, that's a pretty good correction. Will we see this low challenged? We'll see. Our intraday will definitely keep me on the right side of it. I took off most of my spreads, and I'm looking into my January spreads at this point. So, if there was a back and fill, I'd be putting on my January spreads. I'm looking to get into the January spreads somewhere along the line over the next few days. All right. So that is the possibility. I guess what we'll do now is we'll zip over to let's go back to the currencies. Should we do some currencies or what? Let's go do this. Let's go to the euro. See what the euro's up to. That euro has been acting very, very well. You can see that for the last couple of days. You see that nice pop. You see it over here. Let's see, where's it at? And there's the euro right there. You see that? It's 4 days in a buy. It's been pushing up. It's come off the 107. What was that? The 107.64. And now we're trading at 109.28. So it's been a nice little bounce. We're in the weekly buy. Oop, didn't mean to do that. We're in the weekly buy. You can see that all right there. You see we've been in the daily buy. It's been fine. The cable is the one that kind of surprised me. I guess someone was front running knowing that there was going to be a third dissenter. Isn't that amazing how the math picks that up without us knowing? In other words, I'm always trying to figure out the story. Our math picks that up all the time. Isn't that amazing? In other words, we've seen here where the cable was just having an issue about backing off. It couldn't get into the buy. And they were talking about 2 people, as you said up there. And instead it was 3 people who voted for raising. And I guess it would be 8 that didn't want it. So, we got into the buy yesterday right there. And let's steal this buy right there and just move it over like that. So we closed in the buy yesterday right there. And, it's been in a weekly buy. It's not giving up anything. It's not really willing to go. Let's see. Okay, I read that part already. All right, good. Just double checking the chat line, making sure I'm not missing any questions. All right, from there, we march our way over to the Swiss. The Swiss started picking up on it again 3 days ago, selling it down. And you can see it's in that weekly sell now for what, 8 weeks is it? 9 weeks? 2, 4, 6, 8. 9th week now in a weekly sell. So it's been in that weekly sell since this area here in the 91, 90 and a half area. And we've gone all the way down to, who's that? That is 86 and change. almost 87. And now today we are back in the 86s again. So, Benny, where are you? Benny. Benny and the Jets. Dun, 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 dun. Now there's the we've talked about this. This is I keep Nick Eye TV on one of my screens for 24/7. I have them on all the time, and boy, they have got some piccadillies, as we would say around here in the countryside. They got some real piccadillies going on over there in Japan, and they have some issues. 5 more ministers have been nabbed for some type of, kickback payments or something like that. So no rice wine for you. But yeah, that's why, and it's nice. You can see ever since they started getting these guys to resign, notice the currency has made a nice move. It's like a 5% move on the downside. And our weekly picked that up, a while back. You can see that back 4 weeks ago. And so, where is everyone today? Even Robin is. Oh yeah, Robin's having issues. Robin is dealing with some government bureaucracy. He's not in a hootskow. Nope, they haven't locked him up. He's fighting with the condominium association. All right. So from there, where do we go from there? We go to the Great Experiment. I was surprised last night when I saw that it was lifting instead. Everybody else is joining in. Not this. Look at that. The Turkish lira is losing against the euro real big time. And you can see 4 solid days in a buy. Weeks upon weeks upon weeks in a buy since mid-September. So this thing can do that too. It can go on a tear. So like September and October, November and December. There's a quarter of the year. It goes, steadily into those directions. Mountain. There's Mountain. Yo, Mountain. What's happening? Yo, yo, yo. Let's show you the mountain bottom. Where is that at? No, not right there. Where's it at? Right. Yeah, it's right there. Let's go there. Where's the mountain bottom? Mountain, 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 mountain. There's the deck. You can see that. And it could have been like we talked about. This is the A, this is the B. Now we've made new lows. We're into the C. We talked about this a couple days ago. Mountain West. You got your little bottom out of it. Now we're going into that last stage of the interest rate cuts, making everybody sell a little dollar, buy a little pair from another country. And there it is. Alrighty. So from there, we go back to the Great Experiment. Let's go back to the Great Experiment. Where's it at? Right there. There's the Great Experiment. And I think we're at closing all-time highs again. That thing is amazing, isn't it? I mean, the closing all-time high was right there. And that was 31.80.93. So we're not there yet. We're 9 ticks off. 9 ticks. And the high today was 81. So the high was the closing number at one point. And we'll see if this thing climbs up more. We get some crazy spike or something like that. Lots of issues. Let's see. Oh, what we got? Yana says, strange thing today. Swiss National Bank kept rates unchanged, but not that it expects target below 2% inflation, not into 25, but already mid next year. Yeah, they've changed the way we do their inflation or our inflation. That's the bigger question. So Swiss National Bank doesn't raise rates if it does absolutely have to. Right, that makes sense. Look, I think, Europe, without a doubt, Europe in particular, is having its issues about the idea that they borrowed tons of money at a plus. In other words, people were buying ECB bonds, and not only were they buying the bonds from the ECB, the European Central Bank, but they were willing to pay interest to the government to own the bonds. And now we're in a point where it's the other way around. That's gotta hurt. I mean, that was really, they were making money off of it. So that's gotta hurt big time. And so, that's why there's real talk over there that they're going to start lowering. That's why they came out last week and made all those statements. ECB, the Exchequer out of London, they all came out and said, "Oh, we're cutting first quarter." They made those announcements. Okay, so there we go. All right, so at this point, I guess we'll go over to. Ooh, what do we got? There's Mountain West now. But the Swiss bounced a bit around, and then it did not much more than that, right? And then Yano says, I would have expected the change of forecast to weaken the Swiss, as it means they can cut faster than the U.S. Janos Mountain says, I went long on Euro Swiss yesterday and slightly positive on this trade today. Yeah, I think the dollar is going to come down more than anything else. That's what I've been saying all along. There's always a natural tendency for it to go down more than go up. We were up into the 114.15s. We had a base in the 107s, and now we finally broke that century mark a few months ago. And, I think we just hover around this area and then move down a little bit constantly. So that is where we're at the moment. Let's see. Mountain West says dollar is headed down for sure. Oh yeah, look, it's overpriced. We all know it's overpriced. I don't know why people get on TV and say the dollar is weak. It's not weak. It's very strong. 1.00 is the anything above 1.00 as far as I'm concerned. Or 100, I guess you could say. Anything over 100 to me is overbought, and so it should be orbiting in the mid 90s, the high 90s, something like that. In many ways, you got to wonder, are they going to allow the dollar to weaken a little bit so that business starts to kick up going into the election year? That's what it looks like to me. Let's see, euro dollar is near 110 after dollar weakness. Where is 125 or the 150 of my youth? Yes, I know. I hear you. Look, I think that the European Union is in very tough shape financially. The young upstarts, as we would call them. Latvia, Lithuania, Bulgaria, Hungary, Poland. Czech Republic, Slovakia, did I say Romania? They're showing Europe how to be capitalist. They've lived under the socialism and communism for so long. They're now trying the other side of it, and their economies are better for it. And you see France and Germany and all the rest of them are stagnant. They're basically stagflation. So, and then you got the southern, what do they call them, the pigs, right? When's the last time, Janos, you heard anybody talk about the pigs? Pigs. It was it Portugal, Italy, Greece, and Spain, right? Remember the pigs? And how when the euro was trading in the 125, 150 area, they were begging for it to be in the 60s and 70s, not the 160s and 70s. When's the last time you heard anybody talk about the pigs, the southern states of the ECB? Yeah, so, it's at this point, what we're really looking at is we're looking at a situation where the amount of how do we phrase this? The amount of cost of currency was it had to get into the par, you know? Not recently, no. It had to get in there. It had to get down there to start balancing things out. And that's why, you know, you can see, except for Romania, who has the euro, right? A lot of, like Poland, you know, has the zloty. That's why we have the zloty on the spreadsheet. And I'm sure that some of these other countries are using their own currency still. I heard someone call Greece another name, but that does not count. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, I mean, that's going to be the headline today. I think that's going to be our title. Pigs versus the North, you know, or something like that. Yeah, ECB pigs. That's what it is. ECB pigs versus the North. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. Let's see what Janos says. I heard someone. Okay. After it turns out that they have been selling Russian oil further, namely their shipping companies. Yeah, that's going to be the title today. ECB pigs versus North. Because, you know, the northern states in the European Union have been much more responsible compared to the central or the south. Was it at some point Spain was almost trying to break up, right? The Barcelona side was trying to get out of there again. They were like, you know, the rest of the rest of Spain can go, turned into another state, you know. Yep, that's going to be the title. Can you make that the title, or do you want me to punch it in? Because it's something that needs to be talked about. I mean, no one's talking about it. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, that we mentioned that last week, Mountain. 20% of natural gas purchased from Russia, out of the 100% of all the natural gas purchased from Russia in Europe, is sold to foreigners. 20%. Yeah. 20% of all the natural gas bought in Europe from Russia is shipped to secondary countries outside of the European Union. So, yeah, it's definitely a freak out, you know? It is definitely a freak out. You know, it's like those people are freezing. They're paying high prices for all this stuff that's going on. And what do? They're outselling it. They're outselling it. It's one of the weirder things. Yep. I mean, you can't make up this stuff anymore. There we are. So, let's see, what do we got here? Oh, yeah, there's Reuters. Oh, what is it? All these stories the same thing? They were squeezed just a couple of weeks back. Yeah. Yeah, they're all doing it. Yeah, none of it makes any sense. It's all talk. You know, it's all, you know, what we like to say over here is posture. You know how you sit in a chair and you sit upright, or you sit and you're slumping in your chair? It's all posture. Yeah, I trust that like nothing, you know. All right, let's go to the number one brick and see what they're doing today. Ooh, nice move. Look at that. Look at those. There you go. So you can see here, we're moving down a little bit. Not bad, huh? So that means that gold, I know that gold is up, and I know silver is up. So let's go take a look at those. there is, let's see, where's it at? There it is right there. And right there, there's gold. And gold was up when I saw it earlier. It's firm, from yesterday. It's firm, it's coming back. Same thing with silver. Let me just save this. There you go. There you go. There's silver. You see silver acting the same way. And, silver seems to bounce, when they do start to buy silver, you notice that the silver starts to take off even more, because, it's being held down dramatically. So, silver lifting up just as well, showing that strength. You can see it right there. And we're going to be in that weekly buy with no problem. It went into the weekly sell last week and failed totally. Within the first day, Monday, it was jacking through. By Tuesday, was it Tuesday right there? Yeah, Tuesday, it was through. It was already in the weekly buy. It's like a 98, 99% chance when this thing makes it through it by the second day of the week. The odds are almost 100%. It's 98 going on. It's like 98.6. It's like actually the temperature of blood that it goes into a weekly buy. It's that powerful. It's almost not, it's like almost 100%. That's a lot. And so the odds are it's like, not even, it's like 1 out of 30 or 1 out of 20 or some crazy number that it doesn't happen. It rolls back over again. And matter of fact, the only one I've seen it do it is in the oils more because it's such a odd volatility of its own, And so you can see here, silver has done that same thing. It's looking very good. And so it doesn't look like there's going to be any pressure whatsoever on the metals complex now that interest rates are moving in the downside direction. Now from there we go over to even copper yesterday lifted up. See if it's still lifting. There's copper. Yeah, copper's still lifting up. It keeps on throwing dots in there every so often. One moment no dot, then dot, back and forth. I'm going to leave it as it is. It's moving up nicely. They're fantasizing. Look, if the United States starts to grow, China grows. That's what it really comes down to. China doesn't grow without the United States. And so, that pressure gets moved away from China. Right now, China's in tough financial shape. So it's like the way Japan is. They're both, hungry for help. They need to sell more items. Then from there, the platinum. Now the platinum contract is really a little confusing because what we show on the beta, where is that platinum? Robin was telling me that this morning. The beta is looking totally a little different. You can see there. I don't know that tick that's in the beta. We'll see how that goes, but there it is on the beta. You can see they tick down and then tick back up, but it's in a weekly buy for the last 2 weeks. It's not letting go. And so there's the strength there. Whereas over on the old platform, you can see that same situation has occurred there. And that is, let's see, Mountain West says, is Japan going to take their islands back from Russia? They could if they wanted to. But right now, they're dealing with Taiwan. Right now, they've got they're very active over there. The United States, Australia, New Guinea just signed a military pact with Australia. You've got India, you've got Philippines, and you have Japan all lining up with Taiwan. So the world media likes to pretend it's Taiwan against China, with the United States kind of lost and not sure where they're going. In the real world, you've got the Philippines, you've got Japan flying missions and training with South Korea and Taiwan, and you have India involved, and you have Australia involved, and now you have New Guinea involved, and I'm not sure what Indonesia is doing, but they're all pretty much aligning themselves into one big flank against China. And China's economically in trouble, so they need to make all kinds of noise. They keep on defaulting on ridiculously small amounts of money. It's really strange. I mean, how many times have I said it here? I mean, like they have one company had $11 billion in assets, but they can't find $15 million to pay a payment. They default. It's like, what? What'd they do? Steal the $11 billion? Let's put it this way: if that was something in the United States, it would be all over the news right now about an $11 billion company that can't find $15 million for an interest payment. So, they're in deep despair at this point. They're a colony of America, it seems like, and they're an angry one. They have issues. They're angry. All right, now from there, that's the metals, and that matches up to the South African rand, as you can see. Ooh, what's this? Deposits, rates. Who is this? This is that Canadian? This might be Canadian. Importance deposit. Yeah, euro. Oh, this is the European Union. That's what this is. Okay, cool. So you have there, 4%. Looks very solid across. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Look, they need to get out of those fours. They need to get down to the threes and the twos. I'm sure they would love to get back to where people pay them. Imagine you're borrowing money. You're buying bonds from the ECB, and you pay the ECB interest so you can buy the bonds. Talk about desperation. Talk about, Janos, can you imagine in decades to come, if there are such things, in business school, they're going to be talking about back in the turn of the century, where that the ECB was able to sell bonds for a credit, and they would take money in by selling bonds to people, and so they wouldn't pay interest, they would get interest by selling you a bond. That is one of the strangest, most distorted events in modern history, I think, financial history. And no one really talks about it. It's like me talking about the pigs today, Huh. Yeah, they're talking about the ECB over here. Yeah, distortion, total distortion of the financial universe. All right, from there we go over to the Canadian dollar. Let's see what the Canadian dollar is doing today, and we'll take a look at the energies, and then we'll probably be getting out of here. Out of here. Unless someone wants to see something. If someone wants to see something, just let me know. We'll go right to it. You can see the Canadian has been gaining against the dollar now for weeks. You see that? Look at that. Weeks upon weeks upon weeks. This is the Canadian dollar. When it goes down, it's gaining against the dollar. And it's coming down in challenging lows from back in September. Right there. But they've been moving down. When this is moving down, normally crude oil is moving up. But in this case here, it's been a flip-flop. You can see right there, it's trying to lift up a little bit today. But it has been moving down also, which is very odd. And you can see this big, long, slow, steady run for the last couple of months. Doing the same thing. It's been heading down, which is, like I said, it's very odd. Usually when Canadian is gaining that much against the dollar, it does that. And you can see from that plateau back up in here. It's been one long, slow, steady glide down. Let's see. From the oil contract, we'll go look at Brent. Let's see what Brent is doing. And let's put it up on J4X. J4X right there. And there is Brentski. There's Brent. You see that moving down. And at the same time, what else can we say about that? I guess not much more than the fact that it's doing it. The Brent has been moving down. There's a little pop today, no doubt about that. It's just a matter of time. I don't know. It kind of, I guess you could say it's just a matter of time before they find a bottom in here. But I understand. Oh, there's another thing too. We don't have much of our strategic reserves. I mean, we have about 50, 60%, but Biden's been taking them out again and driving the price down more. So he keeps on, selling strategic reserves when he's supposed to be buying them at this point. And that's slowing things down. The slow economy does the same thing. And then from there, we go over to nat gas. Oh, and there's Brent there. Let's put Brent up on the beta. Let's go do that. Let's put the Brent up on beta. Where is it at? There it is, BZF. I think that's it right there. Yep, there it is right there. Let's put it up on there. You'll see it on the screen. And you can see it's mainly in daily sells. One little pop here and back into the sell again. But look, it's lifting up today. And you can see here the weekly. It's been in a weekly sell for a long while. Long while. There. Come on, let's fix that again. There it is. Yep, and that is the Brent. Oh, let's see. Yeah, they do, Mountain. You're right about that. Now from there we go over to the crude oil. I'm sorry, crude oil, natural gas. I'm sorry, nat gas, and there it is right there. Natural gas trading at $2.36. $2.36 two versus $2.36.4. Basically bouncing around in there. We see it over here. Let's put the natty gas on. See if we can find the natty gas there. Let's just put it up on this one. I can get it easier and faster. And there is natural gas. You see right there, it's trying to lift up, lift and separate. And so from there, let's put it up on their screen right there. There we go. It's been one nice, steady, slow drop in natural gas here in the States. We're loaded with natural gas, so we have no problems with it. The one with money will always find a way around the sanctions, but it will cost a lot more depending on sanctions severity. Yep, exactly. Yep, no, I agree with you, Giannis, totally. Note that the North Korean dictator just love Hennessy cognac. Yeah, it's good to be king, isn't it? That's what it comes down to. It's good to be king. Indeed, indeed. It's so good to be king. Alrighty. Now from, that's one of the classics right there, It is. Trying to think. What else have we got to go here? Let's go to Spain and take a look at that energy company. I can't believe that thing is still hanging out in the 28 area. That really surprises me. Let's put it up over here on J4X. Right there it is. Ouch, 28, over 28. It's jumped over the moon. Let's see if we can find it over here on our beta. There it is on our beta. Let's put it up on the screen. There we are. Is that right? That doesn't seem right, does it? Yeah, look at that. And we're trying to push into a sell at the same time. But we've been in a weekly buy, so you can't go short it, that's for sure. But yesterday they tried to push it into the sell. It didn't work too well, did it? It's just emphasized over the last the last 2 weeks. So they couldn't really, they pushed it down. That's it right there. And now it's gapped up. So that's why you don't fight the weekly trend. You hedge yourself on weekly trends, but you do not fight the weekly trends. So that is the end of that story. All right, traders, we're out of here. Let's see. Smugglers cost a lot more money. Patronage, postage, and so forth. Shipping and DHL. Sanctions effects, then pay more or other parts involved in the sanction running. Yep, exactly. All right, traders, we are out of here. Tomorrow is TGIF, so we will catch you on Friday. So, happy trails to you until we meet again. That'll be tomorrow, and it'll be the end of the week. Happy trails to you To all our trading friends, later, traders. Catch you guys tomorrow. Ta-da for now. Pigs go flying.